Hey you guys, and I am back for another Black Girls Book Club book review, and the letter of the day is L for Loveology. I would suggest that you buy this one. I really do like it. It is a Christian book, so you have that. But I really do feel like it's a really good informative read, and even if you aren't Christian, then this book kind of gives you a good definition of, to me personally, what most Christians should believe, or what all Christians should believe about love and God and sex and relationships and dating. And this book gets really deep into detail, so I'll just start with the basic attributes of the book. So this is what the book looks like. Like I said already, the title is Loveology. It is written by John Mark Connor. I'm holding this book upside down. I'm an idiot. So yeah, the name of the book is Loveology, and the kind of subtitle for it is God, Love, Marriage, Sex, and the never-ending story of male and female. Like I said, by John Mark Connor. And this book was $20, and I got it from the Christian bookstore. I forgot the name of the store, but it's a really well-known Christian bookstore. And yeah, like I said, it was about $20. And so the book, one thing I really like about the book, even though it has nothing to do with the book, is it's a white and pink book. And from cover to cover, the book is like 300 plus pages, but the actual book itself, because the author and his wife and one of his friends do a Q&A at the end of the book, so the actual book itself is 241 pages, but it's spaced really wide, or the space in between it is kind of big, so it's really easy to go from page to page. Like, I would honestly say that maybe like 2 pages is 1 page, so when you read this and this, it's like almost in a normal book reading this and this, because it's so spaced out. It has Bible verses in it. I really like the vibe that the book gives off. Like I said, the author is very calm and collected, and he does express that these are his interpretations and his views of the Bible, which I really like. But I can say firmly that I agree with everything that this book says, and some things I really have learned from this book that I know I need to work on as an individual and as a female, and just as a woman who's trying to chase God more, especially in relationships, because I'm no good in those. But the book is really deep, and it talks about some of, almost like Gentlewoman, it talks about some really sticky subjects. But one chapter that I definitely want to come and comment on in this book is the chapter on homosexuality. And I really can't explain to you guys how much that chapter of this book really sold this book for me. If this book didn't have that chapter, I probably would give it like a 4 out of 5 stars, because it's, unless you're craving to learn about this, then it's not the type of book that's gonna make you keep reading. Like, your craving for the information is what's going to keep you turning the pages and keep reading, because you want to know. But if you were just like, oh, I'm just gonna pick up a book and I'm just gonna read it, and you've already following the steps, then you probably end up stop reading it halfway through. But the fact that I was seeking to learn more about God and what the Bible says about relationships and this, that, and the other is kind of what kept me turning the pages. So if that's where you're at in your life, then I would definitely suggest this book. But the chapter on homosexuality is so great. It's so amazing. And the fact that I read this book around the time that gay marriage was legalized was really interesting to me, because I want to say that I got to that chapter about a week, or maybe 5 or 6 days, but somewhere close to a week after the bill had been passed. And it was so much chaos on my TL. It was so much anger and frustration, and these hateful things being written and these hurtful things being said, some from gay people, some from Christians, and it was so frustrating to me. Like, it really grinded my gears that people who are supposed to be men and women of God were saying such hateful things to another person, because that's not what the Bible teaches. And I really love how this book addresses homosexuality as a whole. It even talks about gender roles. It talks about male and female versus, man and woman. And it talks about the difference between saying that, as a woman or as a man, this is your place and this is what you can and cannot do, versus the benefits that gender roles bring. And I really like how he took that back to what God says about the Bible, as far as that there's nothing wrong with male and female having gender roles, because some of those kind of clarify the lines of and make it easier to be in a relationship. Because if both of you guys are trying to do the same thing, then you're going to be less productive. And that's something that I think sometimes people tend to forget when they're pushing for, oh, I should be able to do the same thing that this person should be able to do if I want to do it. And this book really talks about the fact that, like, to me personally, if me and you want to accomplish building something, but we're both doing the same job at the same time, then it's gonna take the same amount of time that it would as one of us. Rather than a relationship is supposed to be based off of building something, and the easiest and quickest way to build something is you have your jobs, I have my jobs, and we're going to both do our parts to create what it is that we're wanting to create. Like, you're not looking for your other half. And he talks about, what I really love about this book is he even goes into a mythological analogy of why people say, like, we're on this earth searching for our other half. Sometimes as women, we find ourselves looking for someone to complete us. And to me, God is who completes you. You know what I'm saying? Like, the man that I'm searching for isn't the other half of me. He is himself and I am myself. And we're going to combine ourselves to be that one flesh that we become when we become married, as the Bible talks about. So it's like, I'm not looking for someone to complete me, because that's God's job. God fills and completes everything about me. So I'm not looking for a man to do that, because when you're looking for a man to complete you, then you're always going to feel empty. And you're always going to leave a relationship when it's not as exciting and as, you know, as lovey-dovey as it was at first. And he talks about that in the book as well. Like I said, the homosexuality chapter of this book to me was amazing, and it really blew my mind, because he talked about something that my pastor talked about a long time ago, or not a long time ago, maybe when I was 15 or 14, that I heard in the church, and it really changed my mind about how people throw out this image of what Christ is and what he does and who he is and what he says. And one thing that really just irritates me is when someone takes something out of the Bible, out of context, to use in order to portray a sense of hate or only support what they believe in, and they leave the rest of it out. One thing that I will always remember about going to my church is my pastor always taught us is that God does not hate people. God hates sin, because God is a perfect God. He doesn't tolerate sin. So basically he's talking about, the verse is actually in Romans. I don't know where I got Corinthians from. This book has a lot of verses. But so basically, if you actually ever take the time to read the verse, man, it really talks about the fact that we were all supposed to be condemned unto hell, until the things that we struggle with the most as individuals, we try to make them casual so that we don't feel as crappy about them. And the things that we don't have that issue with, most of us, homosexuality, murder, adultery, things that we don't really struggle with, we say, oh, that's horrible. Like, you should never kill somebody. You should never have sex with a woman. You should never have sex with a man, because you don't do it. Like, you're not attracted to it. So it's easy for you to say, like, that's the worst one, because you're trying to validate how holy you are to yourself. You're trying to validate your righteousness to yourself. Hey, we are all filthy in God's eyes, but he's merciful to us, and he's graceful to us, and he still loves us day after day. And it's like, I will never understand how people can say and convey these hurtful messages behind Christianity. And that's not what it teaches. And I really understand where some gay people come from as far as hating Christians and bashing Christians, because the only type of Christian that they know is the hateful, negative, abusive Christian, and that's not what it's about. That blows me, bro. Like, really, this book showed me that as a woman, I have a lot of growing to do in the book. But all in all, y'all, like, if you're a girl who's looking for relationship advice, or just what God says on what a woman should be, what a relationship should be with the right woman, this, that, and the other, he takes it all the way back to Adam and Eve. Like, it's a dope book, y'all. Like, if y'all can, check it out. But, like, really, that just, that made me so frustrated. My makeup is probably messed up or something, but definitely, I loved it. It was a great book. Hopefully the author of this book comments on this video as well, with, you know, his tips and tricks on better understanding the book, because Barriola did comment on my gentleman review, and that made me super happy. But I am going to be doing a PWI versus HBCU rant / convo. That's going to be dropping either today or tomorrow. same day as the makeup video. But yeah, you guys, I will see you on the next book. The next book that I want to read is Buck. And the author of that book actually already follows me on Instagram, so I'm really happy for that. But I've been hearing nothing but great reviews about it, and so I do want to read that. But other than that, you guys, I am signing out. I can't even do this anymore. I'm gonna go read. I'm gonna go edit some videos, this, that, and the other. But peace out. I will see you guys on the next book review and the next video.